It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig. You decide when you lose, not other people. And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. Today with Razorfist.
They want to square that circle so airtight that there will be no contrary opinions whatsoever.
And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com, I think. Twitch. What's going on, everybody? Hi, I'm Stuttering Craig. Happy Monday to you. Did you have a good weekend? You did? Oh, that's great. Great to hear. How about you, Blabs? Did you have a good weekend?
I had a very busy weekend, but it was good. And yes, we are live on Rumble. Rumble's up. So hello, Rumble.
That's good to see. Always great to have Rumble up after the insanity of this morning. I don't know. Razor, did you see the insanity going on Rumble today?
No. It crashed during the Crowder Alex Jones interview, I gather. That's what I hear. By the way, everyone, welcome to the Info War.
Oh, wow. All right. Let's go. Man, look, we're going to have a great show today. I'm beyond excited to be hanging out with you guys. Apparently my mic is low, so I'm going to get really close to it and talk like this all day.
Why do people do that? It kind of looks like just making out with mics. I'm not going to lie.
Got to get up and nice and tight. And...
Oh, are we getting a little ASMR, Craig, today?
Stop it, Blabs.
Hello.
Gonna run your fingernails down the side of a thimble or something?
I have an announcement. I tried pickle juice. I drank pickles. Well, I didn't drink pickles. I drank pickle juice.
You just cut out the pickles entirely and went straight to the juice?
No, I totally had a pickle in my boar burger, actually. But yes, I tried some pickle juice.
You ate boar?
Good. Boar burger. Ground meat. It's wild boar, bro.
Wild boar, really?
Yeah.
Like this is a normal thing for you?
Not normal, every once in a while.
She ate a video essay. Gotcha.
What?
It's a boar. It's a boar, Blabs. You get it? It's a joke. Bored. Boring. Bored.
Oh.
Oh, here we go.
I got it.
It's getting superstitious up in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on it, man. Razor, how are you, buddy?
I'm fantastic. I had some technical difficulties beforehand, but yeah.
All good. No worries. We're ready to rock. Look, we had a lot to talk about today. We had the Completionist saga continues, which it just won't stop. We had quite possibly some, like, maybe, I don't know if I'm overselling it, a major line of demarcation on the internet happened this weekend with Alex Jones returning to X and the conversation that happened afterwards. We have some Zelda news, which is very interesting. As you know, we are a video game and entertainment podcast. We have a nice metaphor about the video game industry, which we're going to get to, and an insane show on Netflix that has some Blabs, how would you describe what we're going to talk about with this movie?
Propaganda.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Propaganda.
A propaganda thriller. Woo.
Fear-mongering propaganda, I think is the best way to say it. Yes, there we go. But first, I'd like to remind you guys, we are live over at rumble.com/sidestrollers. If you do like free speech, when their website is up, you can go over there and follow us at rumble.com/sidestrollers. We also have an X account as well at Side Scroller Pod. If you guys want to go watch clips of the show, you guys absolutely can do that. We put them up over there as well, in addition to here on YouTube, where you can join the 59,185 subscribers. Hey, do us a favor. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. We're live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time for about an hour and a half, and we go and we have fun and we talk video games, entertainment, and culture, and all sorts of good stuff. Also, hit the thumbs up button. Our goal is 300 likes every single episode. Do we do anything if we hit it? No, we don't, but it's a goal. So there we go.
Dance, actually.
What's that?
You'll
we
dance.
Strip nude.
No. Just dance. Just be like, woohoo!
No. It'll just be shoulders up nudity like that horse face broad this past week on the Twitch.
We're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna spoil it.
I don't know. No, I didn't. I X'd that off the show today. I X'd it.
Oh, I literally had
Oh,
Twitch
that's
titties just here for Razorfist. It's
Do you
fine,
want to?
whatever.
Okay, well, then we'll talk the Twitch titties a little bit
Oh, you
later
know
on.
what? That's because listen, Razorfist hasn't seen this yet, but I do the Lord's work. Okay.
Titties. What?
Hey, can you take that now and just get him going? What? And then eventually we'll be able to do an entire show without Razor even being here, which is just reacting to things.
There you go.
Titties. What?
Yeah, it'd be like, and then we'll do the Lil Jon remix. It'll just be, there you go. Yeah. What? Just the whole time.
Adam Labs. There you go.
Get on it.
Oh man, look, we got a lot going. Oh, tomorrow, Razor.
So-
Tomorrow, big day. As we're getting back to interviews, tomorrow I'll be going one-on-one with Uva Bowl. Tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Man, it's gonna be a good one. I need everybody.
Holy buckets.
Everybody showing up mañana for that one. It's
Been
gonna be
doing a
good.
lot of research in the 5 for $1 bin at Walmart.
Listen, I'll tell you what. The research really. I mean, I'm doing high level stuff. After today's show, you go down the rabbit hole and you start making notes and stuff. So,
What
give
is
us-
your favorite piece of celluloid sterling silver that he's cranked out?
Well, it would probably be, most likely, be the movie that I went up to Vancouver to be a part of, but but actually didn't appear in, which was Far Cry.
Got snubbed.
So
Far
yes,
Cry.
it's ridiculous. I was on my way to an intense acting career, and Uva cut me out. It was ridiculous.
And it might actually be better than the new Far Cry Blood Dragon show on Netflix. Here's the hilarious part, right?
You know what's amazing is, it's going to be really interesting tomorrow because he is a firecracker, man. He will go and at any point. I actually think that he could just leave the show for whatever reason. Like if the wrong question is asked, or if he doesn't
He's done that.
yeah, absolutely.
He's done that. I've watched interviews where he just straight up gets up and leaves. It's
Yeah.
genius.
It's going to be good, man.
I
Uva
like
Bowl.
when he responds to my emails in the subject line.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's brilliant. He
I'll
does?
be like a whole thing. I'm like, what are you saying?
That is brilliant.
I'm sure that'll be a big part of the conversation tomorrow is, Uva, why don't you actually respond in the body of the text instead of just the title?
I'm calling it now. He'll have one of those situations where you can't hear him, or no, you hear yourself echoed back in his audio. Really, it'll be one of those really awkward interviews where every 2 seconds Craig hears himself. It'll be, I just see it happening.
It's going to be great.
He's too boomerific for it not to happen.
Who, Uva or me?
Oh.
Little of column A, a little of column B.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys have any questions that you'd like me to ask Uva Bowl, the chat's a great place to do them. You can also pop them over on X. You can follow me over there at Stutter and Craig. Send them my way. I'll put a little X post out there a little bit later on today.
Yeah,
and we'll kind of
around I think it was like 5 in the afternoon Eastern. A scheduled tweet will be going up. So if you see it, comment there too.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do our best to get to 20 memberships today. It's always fun to get going and have a great show and hit those 20 memberships. It makes us feel really good inside and helps us keep the show alive and striving. Hey, also speaking of interviews, coming up on Thursday, we got a big one for you, Blabs, don't we?
Yes, we do. We have Flick Miles coming on the show. Now,
Who?
if you don't know,
Slow down. You said Foot Miles.
I said Flick Miles. Stop
Flick
trying
Miles.
to correlate feet. It's really weird, man. Anyway, Flick Miles is coming
Don't
on
you
the
talk to
show.
me about feet, Blabs. Don't you talk to me about feet.
You have weird feet. Anyway, Flick Miles was
Is it-
Emma
is it like-
Watson.
Is it like
Hold on.
Anakin with sand? I don't understand. Is there some backstory here?
There sure is,
No.
Razor, but we don't want to talk about it anymore. I'll need to tell you about it offline.
All right.
Anyway, Flick Miles was Emma Watson's body double in the first 3 Harry Potter movies, and she was actually in the movies, but you just can't tell it's her because, it's Emma being doubled and everything. And it's a lot of cool stuff, so we're going to have her on Thursday, and she's going to tell us all the secrets and stuff. I'm very excited. I'm going to fangirl.
So if you guys are into Harry Potter and watching Blabs show up there on Thursday. It'll be great. So it'll pretty much be being like, "Hey, how's it going, Flick? Here's Blabs," and then Blabs is gonna go. So
you can work on your Tetris skills on your phone while you're don't worry about it.
It's gonna be so lost. Be like, ha.
Yeah,
I told him to watch Harry Potter, at least the first 3 movies. You think he did it? No.
Absolutely. Nope, absolutely not. That's way too much. Way too much. Like
whatever, man.
Double speed maybe, but then you get mad at me for ruining the effect on it. So
yeah, you should have watched it with you, me, in the movies. They were watching them.
We didn't get together and we didn't make that happen. I don't know. It's rough.
That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's rough.
I would be embarrassed to be you right now.
You know what's not embarrassing? Jake VB coming as a brand new member. Let's go. Thank you so much, Jake. Also, John Kanji becoming a member for 7 months. Says, morning, guys. Hope y'all are doing well. No, John, I hope you're doing well. Viper came in with the 5. Says, thank you very much, Viper. Says, can Razor just be on streams from now on? You 3 have such good on-screen chemistry.
That's the drugs.
It's a mean dopamine hit every time you tune into the show. It's just a nice, wonderful feeling. Well, thank you very much.
Meth and rhino steroids is what it is.
It's coming soon. Coming soon.
Yes.
Maximus Rex is yeah. And Vinyl Morpheus came in with the 999. Says, Razor, would you say Blood West lived up to its type? Lived up to its type? I think it may be my game of the year. What's Blood West?
It did for me. It's a cowboy horror stealth game. It's really neat. You sneak around, hacking away at zombies with axes and blowing their heads off with revolvers, and it's real spooky, and it's got kind of a, it's 3D, but it's got kind of a pixelated sort of retro-ish art style. It's really neat. It's a badass game. There's not much else like it. It's kind of like a single-player version Hunt Showdown, kind of. I love it.
I've never even heard of this thing before. Blood West. Huh.
Yeah, it's boss. I highly recommend it.
All right.
It's a little bit Dark Souls-ish, too. You, die. It's really hard. You get debuffs, and you go back to your campfire. It's kind of like that.
Okay. All right.
A little roguelike.
So it's a first-person. I'm looking at the gameplay really quick. It looks like first-person shooter, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
It's first-person sneaker, basically, but with cowboy guns and stuff.
Okay, and then here's your pixel aspect of it. Like things are kind of, it's not exactly a visual powerhouse, but it's fun.
Yeah, but it's like an authored kind of look. It's sort of like a PS1 game or like an early N64 maybe. It's really cool.
Cool, neat, awesome. That's fun to see. Cool. And that is called what? Blood West?
Blood West, yeah.
Nice. All right. Agamemnon Fireman came in with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. That's outstanding. Says, morning, guys. Hope last week's question wasn't too dumb. I do think Razor and Craig on JRE would be amazing. And Razor, I know he's not your fave, but I bet he'd like you. You'd remind him of DePaulo.
I'm not nearly Italian or sweaty enough.
Hey, if Joe Rogan wants to have us on his show, I will accept the invitation to Joe Rogan.
No, why would we want to be in front of millions of viewers?
Blabs wouldn't though. Blabs doesn't get to go.
Oh. I get to sit home and pretend I don't exist.
Right.
I'll be in my room making no noise.
Emperor Creatine says, Craig, you better make sure Uwe Boll isn't kissing goblins, having political succubus with goblins, integrating goblins.
Integrating goblins.
Integrating?
Ingratiating. Is that ingratiating?
Are you okay?
It says ingratiating goblins or being in bed with a goblin.
In bed with a goblin. It's an Alex Jones meme.
Okay. Sounds good.
It was after Trump got elected, I think, where he was like, I don't want to see Trump kissing goblins. I don't want to see him in bed with a goblin. Like,
isn't that in his song too? Doesn't he sing about goblins?
Probably, yeah.
The
Alex Jones metal song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Alan came in and says, Alex's was right. All the frogs are figs except Pepe the Frog. Hail. Alec, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And Jean from Breath of Fire 2.
Thank you so much for the gift of membership, Kinetic. It's awesome. And Paladin came in and says, Godspeed. Hail the Iron Age. Thank you so much, Paladin. Appreciate that. Olympus Golem of Light says, reject Harry Potter. Embrace Harry Copperfield, Blackstone, Dresden.
No,
What is that?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. She's about to throw down.
Well, Harry Copperfield. No, that's not. David Copperfield is the actual musician. That's who our musician.
No, this guy's a dork. He's not banging Claudia Schiffer or whatever.
Isn't there an Inspector David Copperfield, not a musician?
I don't know. Labs, look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, David Copperfield, the
detective inspector.
the old
guy.
book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Craig's like, oh, he's a musician.
No. He's a magician.
He's a
Not a
magician.
musician.
You said musician.
I know. I said it wrong, and you just caught it. Tomax says, Razorfist, I enjoyed your Blood West stream. Have you had a chance to check out Evil West yet?
I streamed that a while ago. Yeah. It was cool. It was a cool game, kind of a third-person action-y kind of thing. Not a bad game.
Yes. Tomac, thank you very much. The Grizzly came in with 10. Says, just saw the new Godzilla movie yesterday. It's as good as everyone is saying. Even with my bro who doesn't like Godzilla, it's both our movie of the year. Highly recommend it. Hear great things about it.
I heard you can go in there and I've never seen a Godzilla movie before and be okay.
That's a good thing.
How much is there to catch people up on with giant lizard that crushes cities?
Have you ever seen?
It's pretty straightforward. I think that's what you got.
Yeah, right?
Lizard from the sea comes in, crushes things, people scream and die.
Right.
There it is. I think I wrapped it up pretty good.
Right.
Master Video Series says, nice Dawkins shirt, Razor. Dawkins or Dokken?
Dawkins.
Nice. I'm wearing one of my Motley Crue tees. Will there ever be a Mythos episode on the crew? Happy 65th birthday, Nikki Six.
Yeah, I'd like to do one on Motley Crue, especially because they don't have that many albums, so it'd be pretty quick to get through. Although, just on all the drama, I mean, when your singer literally kills a guy and then just like gets away with it because he's got lots of money, there's some baby mama drama around Motley Crue. So that would take a long while. It would take longer to get through the drama than through the music, which is probably the main problem with Motley Crue, to be honest.
You can do it in multiple parts, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Do like a 3-hour documentary or whatever.
All right. Well, I just did a 2.5-hour one on Alice Cooper. So
crazy. Methalus came in and says, morning guys, Razor with GTA 6 release year out. When do you think is the earliest we can see Red Dead 3? And do you have any hope for it? Also, hi Blabs.
Hi.
Hi Methalus. Hey.
Are you okay, Craig?
Craig is chopped liver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when we could. Here's the thing: there's concurrent teams working on both, right? So there's GTA 6 team, and there's what's the difference? There's like Rockstar Santa Monica, is it? And then there's Rockstar San Diego, and they work.
Yeah.
One works on Red Dead, one works on GTA, but I imagine they cross-pollinate a fair amount. So it might not be as long as people think, because they're certainly not doing anything on fucking Red Dead Online, that's for sure. Because they've done absolutely nothing with that in years. So yeah, I wouldn't think super long, maybe a year or two.
So there are, just a quick glance at the Rockstar Company wiki. There's Rockstars Dundee, which is in Scotland, Rockstar India, Rockstar LA, Rockstar Leeds, Lincoln, London, New England, North, San Diego, and Toronto. These are all different. That's crazy. All these different little
Rockstar the breakfast cereal.
Yeah, it's nuts. Just like as he says, hey, Craig, just want to say thanks for introducing the finals to me. Had friends playing all weekend. Well, just Legacy, that's one of us. That is, I did not have friends playing with me all weekend. There's a new game out called The Finals, Razor, and it is so much fucking fun. It's ridiculous. Blab's been playing it so much so that she wants to do a 2-minute review on it tomorrow on the show. Wednesday on the show. Yeah. It's like a first-person shooter, but the entire thing, the entire world and maps are destructible. So you go in and
it's perfect for me. I'm a pirate.
It's just chaos. Yeah. And if you like chaos, it's so much fun. I don't even know who made the game, but it's just ridiculous.
A Swedish company. I forget the name.
What was the game where like everything was destructible? Was that
Minecraft?
What are the red factions? Red Faction Guerrilla.
Right.
That one. You could literally run around with a hammer, just any building, anything standing, you could just wreck it. It was genius.
One of the guy's ultimate abilities is he just goes "Roar!" and he runs through the wall like the Hulk would, and just destroys things. And it was awesome. There was a point in a match where I saw some guys above me running on a glass ceiling, so I shot up and they just came crumbling down, and it was such a satisfying thing because they had no idea what the fuck just happened. It was great. It was outstanding. I loved everything. Every
glass ceiling. There you go.
It's great. Just like our show.
You're a strong, independent career woman, Craig.
Thank you.
Craig,
you need to buy some shoulder pads.
Get some 1980s shoulder pads going on.
Yes.
Oh man, can we bring that back? I mean, really.
Drink a nice ice cold tab.
Oh, tab and there you go. I love that. Oh my god. Hashtag bring back shoulder pads. Let's do it. Oh my god. Mercenary came in and says, got the day off today. Tired from customers at work. Well, Mercenary, thank you very much.
Hi.
Appreciate that. Also came in with the Rumble rant. Says, money's tight, so I have to send here. Blabs drank pickle juice. Oh God, disgusting. How can you drink that? That stuff makes me nauseous. Like you wouldn't believe. Also, still think Alex is controlled. Oh, well, we're gonna get to Alex Jones in a little bit.
That was a whirlwind of a Rumble rant. We went from pickles to Alex.
That's how it goes. Angela says, Harry Dresden Files by Jim Butcher, not mentioning the TV show. All right. Thanks, Angela. Appreciate that. Mike F came in with the 5. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Mick or Mike, or just F with the support. Matthew says, what are your thoughts on Weird West, Razor? Have you heard of it?
Weird West that came out around the same time as a bunch of Wests, right? There's Hard West and Evil West and Blood. Apparently you can't make a Western game now unless you put the word West in the title.
West.
Well, how are you gonna know it's a Western game if there's no West?
Is Weird West the isometric RPG type thing? That if so, we streamed it. And it was pretty cool. It was kind of a takeoff of Hard West, if I remember correctly. It was sort of the same idea.
How would you ever know that it's a Western game if it doesn't have West in the title? Red Dead Redemption?
Guess. Well, Red Dead Redemption doesn't.
Right. How would you ever know?
I absolutely did play it, by the way. It's Weird West, and it's really good. Yeah, I did stream it a while back.
Mick or Mike F came in and says, howdy, Razor and new friends. Not to go into politics, but Argentina just sworn its new president, Javier, is it Milei? Is that right? He had a water bottle thrown at him, barely missed while en route to get sworn in.
Better than a water bottle than something else.
Right?
It's crazy.
In that country, I mean, that guy getting elected is I'm just terrified somebody's gonna wing a shot at him or something, because they're full-blown communists in that country prior to this, so that guy's in legit danger.
I see that as a positive. They had somebody in that country actually had a water bottle to spare, which was great.
Step in the right direction.
It's good. Mr. Jack says,
some water.
love what you guys do. Also, Craig, can you shout out my friend Tyler and his cosplay page? Tyler Touchdown. He cosplayed Travis Touchdown back at SGC in 2013. And what if Red Dead 3 is in the 20s and 30s? Interesting. Thank you very much, Mr. Jack. And shout out to Tyler Touchdown, who cosplayed as Travis Touchdown a decade ago. Let's go. Thanks, Mr. Jack. And let's go here. Alan came in with the $9.99. So speaking of Gogzilla, my favorite retro video game store clerk, scored a DVD of One-Eyed Monster. Look it or don't. We will not look it. I don't think
I can get that outside of the adult section.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound something you want to Google, is One-Eyed Monster.
Yeah, no.
Thank you very much. And also give it up for Mr. Jack coming in as a brand new member. All right, just got a few more of these, and then we're going to get into our favorite segment about news and stuff and get into all the good stuff today. Appreciate y'all's support and getting right off the bat. Mercenary says, Dresden Files is a great series of books. It is like a more mature Harry Potter, and it is very not when they get out, but very Will they survive? Okay, I understand what you're saying, mercenary. Not will they get out? Will they survive? Azzy Bay, Azzy, thank you, Sperma, says some Godzilla films tie together, but most ignore all except the original. They try new things with them often. With him, I say with him often, not them. With him, Godzilla. The new one is a full reboot. I loved it. Well, I'm glad you like that, Bay. And 550, some random dude says, "Hey Razor, how would you feel about Red Dead 3 being based on Blood Meridian? Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy, complete with Judge Holden."
I don't think Rockstar would pull that off very well. They seem to just you notice this every single Rockstar game, except maybe Bully, although maybe even Bully a little bit, is kind of just, hey guys, we're going to tell a story about the dark side of the American dream. It's going to be about some guy who wants to make it big, but actually he's going to have to be a criminal and blah, blah, blah. I should narrate their trailers like this, actually.
I agree. I think that's great.
In a world.
My life.
In a blobbity blue.
Yeah. But I don't think they have it in them, honestly. Like every Rockstar game is all like, I'm sure even Rockstar Table Tennis probably has that undercurrent in there somewhere.
Anti-Hero says, "Hi there. I share Mr. Bull's first name and laugh my ass off since all you butcher the pronunciation. Even though most of Uva's movies are a crime against humanity, Postal is and will always be awesome. Must be an accident." Anti-Hero, how do you say your name? I've always heard Uva. That's the way he said it. So maybe I'm just going off what he said.
I just think female sheep. You.
Ooh. Worthy One says, "Hey, Razorfest, do you have a wrestling Mount Rushmore of your own?" Who's your
Wrestling, like top wrestlers?
Top 4.
Mount Rushmore, so it'd have to be 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably put original version of Kane, who I love. Gold Dust. I would put Bret the Hitman Hart, my doppelganger. And I would put the Ultimate Warrior.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. No Stone Cold, no Hulk Hogan, no
I
Sting.
I didn't like Stone Cold growing up, but I have grown to like him.
No Rock?
No Rock.
No
Rock.
Dusty Rhodes. No,
you see him do that Oprah shit in Hawaii? Fuck the Rock.
No Andre the Giant. Like, wow, that's
I do love Andre the Giant, but man, I like Ultimate Warrior a little more.
Chat.
I like the gimmicks. I like the big theatrics, the goofy comic book superhero stuff. I don't like the black boots, black trunks. I'm not a big fan of that.
I love it though. I love it. The idea that you have Gold Dust on your top 4 is amazing.
Yes.
Like that's outstanding.
The best WWE champion that never was. He should have been the champ.
I think it was an Intercontinental, I believe.
For a long time. Yeah,
Yes.
like 3 times. He was the Intercontinental champion a bunch of times, tag team champion he got everything but the world championship.
As pointed out by Yumi in the movies. No Disco Inferno? Like what?
I may have to revise this list.
That's right. All right, we'll get to the rest of your super chats here in a little bit. I appreciate everybody's support. We got some really important things to talk about as a lot happened over the weekend. So let's get to it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News.
Hard News.
All right. Over the weekend, I couldn't believe it. Hell hath frozen over as Alex Jones was allowed back on Twitter after Elon Musk put a poll out saying, should he be reinstated on the platform? And with a 70% to 30% vote of yes to no, nearly 2 million votes, Alex Jones is now back on X.
Let's take a poll on whether or not to allow free speech. Crying out loud.
Well, he is
Oh.
back.
Yep,
As-
he's a little balder, a little beardier, but he's back.
Ready to go. And he was at 1 million followers just a couple days ago. Now he's at 1.5 million followers today, which I would love to scroll down on his page, but I fear that something on his Twitter account could potentially get us banned off YouTube, which is because I believe he's also banned on YouTube, which is crazy. So he's back, and that was a very big deal. And a lot of people were interested in this, as we've talked about Alex Jones in the past. Admittedly, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it. I hear about him from the periphery over here, kind of the things that he says, the things that he's done, the conspiracy theories that he's had, which have ultimately become true. And it's a really interesting thing. Like, somebody was like, I see you talking about Alex. Like, we had somebody actually not say they no longer wanted to watch the show anymore, because when we were talking about the Alex Jones game, I looked at it as like an actual video game, and I didn't just look at it as like this like, fundraising thing for Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And somebody got really mad at me about that. They're like, you're just an Alex Jones hater. I'm like, no, the game just was really not good, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter what I think about him. It doesn't really matter if I like or don't dislike him. I actually think, it's amazing to see a lot of the things that he said have come to fruition over the year, and there's actual, you can see, hey, here it is. I said this in 2005. This happened in 2008. I said this in whatever. And there's video proof of him. But now he's back, and as you put it, Razor, a landslide win, 70-30. That's a pretty good landslide. Apparently, X is in good hands, as people now want to hear all perspectives on the platform, as long as it doesn't come from Camelot 331, who is also still banned.
Or Milo Yiannopoulos, or any of the other people they've deplatformed and still are not there.
Right. What was interesting about this was there was a giant, what are they called? Like a podcast or whatever. What do they call space? A Twitter, an X space, where Alex Jones, Elon Musk, the Tate brothers, and Vivek Ramaswamy, as well as many others, joined in. Did you see this, Razor?
No.
Oh, well, 10 million people tuned in to this. It was a massive thing, and it was about an hour. I guess it was 3 hours long, but there was a 30-minute segment, which I watched on YouTube, where they went back and forth and they talked about the, globalist versus this and this. And it was, while I was listening to it, it was such an amazing, just what a time to be alive. And for the first time, I looked at X as this idea of, I saw the idea of what X could be, where you have all these people that you'd never think would come together, and giving them an outlet to actually have that conversation was, honestly amazing. It was very, very cool to hear.
Yeah, especially because not that long ago, Elon Musk was asked by somebody, and I mean, by not that long ago, I mean just a few months ago. He was asked point blank, will Alex Jones be allowed back on the platform? This is after he had allowed Donald Trump back on, I believe. So this would have been, what was it, June? Something like May, June, something like that.
Yes.
And somebody asked him point blank, would you allow him on? And he said no, because of what the story about Sandy Hook and whatever, which I guess I never understood. The mainstream news media makes up stories every day. So if he told a fake story, I guess that puts him in good company with CNN and MSNBC.
Yeah.
I don't see them deplatformed.
Yeah, good point.
So, but I just find it interesting that he's now transitioned into that, right? And I don't think I think maybe, wasn't it recently that he was on with Tucker Carlson, right?
Yes.
And of course, is exclusive to X, or he posts his videos to X or whatever. So I think maybe he provided the bridge, possibly.
Yeah, I think that definitely allowed them the publicity to kind of get the campaign going to get him back on. And I think I could be wrong, but I feel like the whole thing was originated by the Quartering, actually, who put a tweet out to Elon Musk after that interview, and he said something effective like, "Well, he's on with Tucker Carlson. Why can't he just be on the platform at all?" And he's like, "Well," and then Elon Musk responded to that saying, "Well, how about a poll?" And then that's how it happened. So
there you go.
But it was really interesting to kind of hear, like, once again, it doesn't matter what they were talking about. It was just the idea that they could have that conversation, which was the most fascinating thing. You have somebody you have the richest person in the world conversing with the presidential candidate, conversing with the number one conspiracy theorist in the world, conversing with, it's just crazy to think about. And it was really, really amazing. But as you would expect, not everybody is happy about this, Razor.
No,
I know.
Perish the thought.
Now, I don't know who this guy is. I feel like I've seen him show up in my timeline occasionally, but this guy's name is David Leavitt. And he just had a simple question. And I don't know if this is parody or not. I'm not quite sure. But he wants to know how many innocent people will be murdered because Elon Musk allowed Alex Jones back on Twitter.
How many innocent people were murdered before? What? What does it even mean?
The only thing that I can possibly grasp from this is that these people have such a distorted, outlook on reality that allowing somebody to talk could potentially lead to somebody being murdered, which is amazing. And Blabs, you're shaking your head. I feel like that's really all you can do at this point, and just tap them on the head. And I feel like we should only almost be able to just put this person right back in the insane asylum and be like, "Hey, you're broken. Sorry, let's try to."
Well, you have to understand. You go to anyone who's spent any time on a major college campus in the last 10 years. Words are violence now, right? It's seen as an act of violence, and you will suffer the same consequences as someone who would have committed an act of violence 10 years ago. That's what all this cancellation and such a people is about. You would think that they had, when you hear somebody utter the phrase, "What?" you would think that person killed a puppy in the middle of the road. It's like, you don't understand. They see you as having killed a puppy in the middle of the road. That's how speech is treated now. The idea is to criminalize speech, because if you criminalize speech, then you constrict thought. And that really is ultimately what it's about. It's about providing an intellectual bottleneck through which no one can pass without their say-so.
Well, without getting too into it, you mentioned the college thing, but you saw the, kind of the big story over the weekend was the college professors who, from, was it Pitt and MIT, or no, it was MIT and Penn, and
it was in Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 Ivy League schools, and they couldn't say pretty much the most basic things, and they ended up floundering all over the place like a fish out of water and looking like total fucking assholes. Anyways, I know one of them actually was removed from their post. They're no longer president of their university. And it's like, you're right. And the idea of these institutions that once were a place where the whole idea of a university was to go find differing perspectives.
Yeah.
And now we're here at the point where it's like, nope. Everyone will think the same. And
yeah, when god awful 2023 SNL is parodying you, when you're so bad that SNL is actually parodying their own side, really, really badly, by the way. They might as well have had pillows on their fists. They were handling them with such kid gloves, but still, the fact that they even saw fit to parody them after that should kind of tell you something.
Right. But it is bringing it back to,
Pillow Fist, by the way, is my G-rated spinoff.
Yeah. But bringing it back to Alex Jones being brought on Twitter, we talk about this podcast being built around common sense, and I am obviously huge on free speech, and I think this is very important. Whether you agree with what he has to say or not, I don't really care. I think that he has the right to say whatever he wants to say, and I think that his track record has shown that he's been right a lot of the time. But the reality is that you will never be right on everything, especially when you have a daily show. So, that's kind of the reality that we live in. I'm sure people will look at things that we said 6 months ago, 9 months ago, and be like, we were totally wrong. It's like, well, yeah, we were wrong sometimes. And we never, if we're always right, that's really fucking boring, really fucking boring. We can do our best we can just do our best, and it is what it is. But there was one really interesting, and I think it was funny point of the whole Twitter space where Vivek is it Vivek?
I think so. Yeah.
Vivek Ramaswamy, who he's I think one of the top 3 or 4 candidates for the Republican presidential candidate. Apparently, during the space, he just kept his microphone on, and he was like taking a piss.
Yes, like they had a Naked Gun moment.
Have you not seen this yet, Razor? You have no idea what we're talking about.
I had no idea. This is genius.
All right, here we go. Listen to this 43 seconds here.
That's the wrong tab.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Decide not to have children. That's all I'm saying. And Elon Musk is promoting an optimistic, pro-human future that the science and evidence shows is real and that we need. Gentlemen, I have
It's awesome, right? So
I love it.
Dark side of Vivek. The camera was on. The mic was on.
Right.
right,
The mic was on. Oh, it's on the whole
Right.
time, huh?
I think he actually comes out of this very well. So here's the last 30 seconds of this.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be clear about my position. I'm super pro-human, and I mean all humans.
Like, these guys are having some really in-depth conversation about world problems and humanity. Like, what will the world look like in 10 years? Vivek is just taking a piss.
Yeah, I want to be clear about my position. I'm super pro-human, and I mean all humans. Humans in America, humans in
somebody's
Africa,
got their thing
Asia,
open
and
somebody's
everywhere
got
else.
their phone open in the bathroom.
It's like- Alex Jones. Someone's got their phone on in the bathroom.
I like how Alex Jones has like a toilet sense. Like,
His
I've heard that
bathroom
sound
senses
before.
are tingling.
I know that sound.
pull your britches up, you son of a bitch. God damn it.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's Vivek. Vivek, that's your phone, Vivek. I'm not able to mute you. Vivek. Perfect. Go ahead, Elon.
Sorry about that.
So, well,
Casual.
He's like, sorry.
My
Elon
bad.
comes in. This is the best 5 seconds ever here.
All right.
well, I hope you feel better.
I feel great. Thank you.
He owned it.
He's like, hey, feeling good now. Love that.
Damn, that was a long ass pee. Wow.
Wow.
Well, I think he was taking a piss and probably washing his hands, most
probably,
likely.
yeah.
But I love the idea that they've got, tens, hundreds of thousands of people listening to what this conversation, right? And just in the middle of this conversation with like I said, the richest man in the world, presidential candidate, all these people who are all over the place. He's like, well, I'm just going to take a piss in the middle of it. Like, I got to be honest, I'd hold that. I'd hold it for a while.
In the immortal words of Dr. Malcolm, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
He definitely had to go. But this happened. Obviously, this was a big ripple throughout the weekend, as they saw there were a lot of people who are not happy with this news. This is death that's happening now. Congratulations, Alex Jones. You're going to kill somebody by being on X now and spreading your horrible message. Urgh. So he was on Steven Crowder this morning, and Steven Crowder is, I think he's on YouTube still, but he primarily streams to Rumble, and it has not been confirmed yet, but this morning during the show in particular, Rumble went down. And the way they're making it sound is, that we're aware of service disruptions and our engineers looking into it. We'll provide an update shortly. This to me, and maybe I'm reading into this too much, this to me says there was an attack.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a DDoS, maybe.
Which has happened several times in the last couple months to Rumble, and they've been able to pinpoint them. In the past, Rumble has actually shown screenshots of where they saw the DDoS attacks come from, and oddly enough, they were from China, which was crazy to.
They have a very extensive cyber warfare division, as do North Korea, by the way.
This whole it's just amazing though to see that obviously we are live on Rumble. They were able to figure it out and figure out the solution. But for me, when you see an attack like that and just giving people the opportunity to speak and then others being petrified of it, that's when you look around and you go like, yeah, there's something bigger going on here. You know, like that's really fucked up. I can't believe that people would go out of their way to create an attack based off of somebody just being on a podcast of all things.
Well,
just crazy. Blabs, you got anything?
I like pickles.
There you go. Love it.
I mean, listen.
She's still thinking about the urination. That's what's going on.
That was a long time. I'm kind of impressed.
Hey, maybe Vivek should have had a pickle jar with him. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
road trip hacks.
but the splatter might have been louder then. I'm just saying. But anyway, I was actually uploading to Rumble when it went down. And I had to re-upload, so that was annoying. But that's all right. I survived. The end.
I'll get a couple super chats here real fast as before we move into our next topic, which our next topic, we're going to be talking about the Completionist saga again. I think this may be the last time we get to speak about it. Hopefully, probably not. I don't know. We'll see. But it seems like it's always on Mondays when we talk about it. But Sparta Chris came in and says, criminalizing free speech and othering others. If only we had some records of this happening in the past. Das not good, Nine. Learning history isn't about knowing something happened. It's how did it get to where it happened. Yes, Sparta Chris. It's I agree with you on that as far as the idea of we've seen a lot of othering in the last few years, which is very scary for sure. Captain Furlow says Levitt is a toothbrush cuck from years ago. Okay.
Yeah,
that's the guy
who
was scared.
To buy that one penny, $1 toothbrush because there was an error at Target. It was really like what, $100 or something like that.
I don't have no idea what
it was mispriced on the shelf, so he made a huge shit stink about it.
Oh,
they weren't going to give it to him for 1 penny.
Yeah.
And that's his that was his takeout of the whole thing. That's how people know him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. Roland New says, unfortunately, words seem to speak louder than actions these days. I'm 23 and just glad that there are some people in my gen that aren't idiots. Roland New, you're the future, my dude, right? You got to let people know they're being assholes, being dummies, you know? And here we go. Miku says, I'm sorry I'm late. Sticks, do not curse me. You've been cursed. Let's see. We have tons of other super chats. We'll get to those a little bit later on, but let's keep moving on with the news today. And we appreciate all y'all's support greatly. Okay. So, Razor, we've talked about this completionist story quite a bit. This has been something that has been ongoing for the better part of 3 weeks now. But Gerard the Completionist has finally responded to the allegations of charity fraud against him and his foundation, Open Hand. Do you need a quick recap of all this, or have you been following this, Razor?
Well, you and I, all three of us, covered it on Monday pretty extensively. So yeah, I'm pretty up to speed.
Right. So he came out and he actually posted a 20-minute video about it. It was a 20-minute video that he posted on Twitter, posted it on YouTube, and the long and short of it was he offered a response and the whole thing. He went into the video. He kind of really went in depth on a lot of things while noticeably leaving out several items in it. This was a very well-prepared speech that was certainly looked over by legal counsel in some way.
I was going to say, I watched a little bit of it, and it definitely, he took my advice. He said, what was it I said? Whatever he says, he needs to get with his lawyer first and find out what it's going to be. And it definitely sounds like he took that advice.
He did. He absolutely did. And in doing so, it was pointed out by multiple people in the community notes that there were some other things that that he missed. He said Gerard said all bits, super chats, etc. would go to Open Hand, and that we're not touching any of it. However, he said that these sources offset production cost, which obviously is contradictory. There are several other contradictions. And that video that is referenced here goes to Mutahar, or Some Ordinary Gamer's response to this response. So now it's like a back and forth. And Mutahar has his thoughts on this. And I feel like, we've really discussed this several times on the show in the last few weeks. And I feel like we've really treaded lightly while still giving it the coverage that it deserves. But I may be wrong. I don't think that anyone on the show has really made any definitive statements on it outside of pretty much if he did something bad, he should be punished, which I think is something that we should say about anyone who does something obviously illegal. But in this video, he talks about he very much wants to sue. They're exploring legal action. At the tail end, he gets kind of fiery, and I don't know. It's obvious that he's gonna fight the allegations, but it's interesting to see kind of where it's going to be moving ahead. But I think given the reach of everybody involved and the public interest, I would think. But I don't hope, but I think that it'll probably play out pretty publicly. But this whole thing is just a mess. It's just a giant mess. It's a mess for everybody attached to it.
Kind of like that beard. When did Gerard turn into Rubius from Harry fucking Potter?
Thank you. I mean, first of all, it's Rubius, but not Rubius. But yes, his beard's shit. I was staring at this entire time doesn't anyone just want to go
Flabs. Ridiculous.
Yes, I'm proud of it.
So he makes his statement over here on Twitter, and sure enough, Carl Jobs is like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna talk about this at length too, right?" And it goes back to speaking of old school wrestling. Eric Bischoff, his famous statement is, "Controversy creates cash."
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't think that Carl and Mutahar, aren't milking this to the best of their ability to talk about it, like
the only cow on a dairy farm. Are you shitting me?
They're going crazy with it. So Mutahar responded, Carl responded. Obviously, I'm sure that Gerard says it'll be the only time he talks about it, but I guarantee it won't. But the most fascinating thing for me has been the line in the sand that so many people have put. Specifically, so we have Cam shows up, Camelot 331. He'll be on the show every once in a while, and his booking agent over on X has been very vocal about Gerard and such. And for him, it's a very black and white issue. He says, his booking agent says, "The people defending Gerard right now are wild to me. Dude lied and solicited donations for organizations that never received money. 10 years later, he is pressured by YouTubers, which he plans to sue, and finally donates the money. The money depreciated over 100K over this time, and people battling dementia didn't benefit. Some lives could have been saved or helped. You can be indifferent, you can have no opinion, but if you're actively defending, you are complicit and are morally corrupt over blind loyalty to a person that likely doesn't care if you die." He didn't care that people suffering from the same illness his mother had to suffer longer as a result. So you see a lot of people like Camelot's booking agent over here being very passionate about it, where other people have been like, "Well, I'm glad he said something about it, and it's a really a great thing that he is." We've been, like I said, we've been very wait and see on this whole thing. I don't know, Razor, do you have any thoughts on this at all? I mean, or is this just more?
That was kind of the approach I took. I figured he would come out and make a statement. It was weird. It was definitely not. You remember several years back when Pro Jared was accused of a bunch of bullshit, and he took a wait and see approach. Probably waited a little too long, honestly, and then finally hit back. And he was very calm and very measured and very, here's the receipts, and this can't be possible because X, Y, and Z. And it was very effective. right, is super effective and pretty much got those allegations off his back. He'll always get the jokes and the whatever, the people snickering at him, but he was very, very direct and what have you. This came across as like an attempt to be measured, and then sometimes he was just spurging out a little bit. And it was like he couldn't kind of keep himself in. I almost feel like he should have had someone else make the video, maybe. Because maybe I got the sense that perhaps his emotions are a little over-involved here. Like he's taking it personally. I think that's what the threats to sue these guys are about. I mean, drama queens are going to drama queen. If he's mad that they're drama farming him essentially on YouTube, you know, it is what it is. But he's kind of engaging in a game of brinksmanship here that probably is just going to fuel the fire rather than squelch it.
Does he know he's muted?
Sorry, I was drinking
We
my
should
drink.
just let it go next time, see how long.
Yes.
He does get very passionate at the end of his video. And I think part of that is to kind of send a message that he's, you know, I'm not going to take this sitting down. Right. And let's go and watch the last minute or so about this, because he does bring up a lot of points about this, is that whether he's found innocent or guilty, it doesn't matter, because the court of public opinion has already made their decision one way or the other. And there's a million judges out there on this. So here's the last minute of this where he gets kind of spicy.
Should be held accountable when faced with serious allegations. However, the narrative can get taken so far away from the truth that the court of public opinion supersedes fact. I recognize and take accountability for all of my actions. At the same time, I am not going to let my reputation be compromised by allegations that are not true. I own up to my part in this, but I will not be painted as someone who is a con artist and embezzler. I won't be someone whose name gets tarnished without putting up a fight. I owe it to my friends, my family, and myself to stand up to this situation right now.
And that's how it ends. So then there's like a, you know, little like, hey, whatever at the end of the video, where he actually has an entirely different like inflection and everything. You know, Blabs, could we do a poll, please?
I mean,
Poll
I
in the
just
chat.
did one, but yeah.
What was the poll? What'd you do?
Nothing.
Is Craig a boomer? Damn it! God damn it, Blabs.
Survey says
Yes.
Yes. It's even a bigger landslide than should Alex Jones be put back on Twitter. Damn it.
We're gonna let that poll go.
Yeah, let that one breathe a little bit. It's okay. That's all right. Oh my God. Well, look, I'm sure this situation will probably be played out publicly. And like I said, it's amazing to see how people have dug their line in the sand. They're either, you know, this is very like kind of COVID feel to it. Where like you're either right or you're wrong. And we've seen this play out many, many times over the last few years. And to see this happen over like a content creator is kind of crazy. But
especially, well, you know, when you weigh down into charity streams and you begin to assert your sort of moral superiority in that instance, you sort of are implicitly. Yeah, there's going to be a unique sense of betrayal in that when it turns out that that's not entirely the case. So I understand that on some level. If I had given to these streams, I wasn't even aware of them until after all this happened, I'd probably be pretty pissed too.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of people, it comes together for a lot of people. It's the charitable aspect of this, for sure. Like the fact that, hey, we're going to do this. We have been doing this, but in reality, none of it had actually been done. It's one of the, you know, like don't say you're doing something if you're not actually doing it. So Lord Spleech says, Gerard didn't bring out the receipts. He brought out definitions to terms and an autopsy report entirely irrelevant to the case. Thank you, Lord Spleech. And I agree. There was a lot of it was very linguistic of Gerard in his which is something that I have a hard time saying. Bass player says, your reputation was destroyed when you joined G4. And Symptom
He was one of the people clapping during the Frost rant.
You know, okay. The Frost grant is really interesting because I don't blame them in that situation because they're on live TV at the time, right? They got this girl who's, in theory, their friend. Who's
in theory, a girl, yes.
Right. Going off on this.
In theory, is a woman.
Right. Yeah. And going off on this massive. Yeah. It was a space poop. Is that what falls out of the sky? Is it it's the turd in Joe Dirt. The turd from the.
Are you okay?
No.
You watched Joe Dirt?
Yes, I love Joe Dirt.
You're the one.
I love Joe Dirt. Damn, I love Joe Dirt. Anyway, well, whatever. Anyway, point totally gone. I don't even know what I was talking about.
You were talking about Machine Gun Kelly's rant.
Symptom came in, says, in the call Gerard had, he said he only knew the donations weren't being made last year. Now he's saying they always plan to do one big donation. Yeah, there's definitely been some contradictions during the whole thing for sure. And Foxo Boxo says Gerard said he was a quote major funding partner at the University of San Francisco Dementia Program, despite having held the money for 10 years. Yeah, once again, many contradictions in the whole thing for sure. And Mercenary says YouTube won't let me see the poll unless I vote first. Well, vote no.
No, the answer is yes.
Vote no. All right.
Wow,
no.
You're losing. 87% says yes so far.
Why do you sound so happy?
I know, Blabs. Geez, actions speak louder than words, apparently, which is crazy. It's funny. Speaking of Jared, a long time ago, we had during an episode of Side Scrollers, there was this old Saturday Night Live clip called "The Whip Master," and it had Bill Murray in it. Are you familiar with this at all, Razor?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it was awesome. The long and short of it was, it's a really funny clip where Bill Murray he has this whip and he's supposed to be great with a whip, but in reality, he's horrible with it, right? So he's like whipping at things and he can't quite hit it, right? And there's this point where Chris Farley has this cigarette in his mouth and he's like, I bet you can't whip this out of my mouth. And he's like shaking and it's like all over the place because he knows he's about to get whipped in the face by this whip. It's a really funny clip from back in the day.
Right.
We were talking about that on Side Scrollers back in the day, which leads to this super chat from Miku. Says, Jared equals great master. What is the master rate? What is Craig the master of? Talking poorly. So during that episode, I don't know where it came from. I need to go watch the clip again, but it's on YouTube somewhere where I called Jared the rate master. And,
oh my gosh.
and it was a different time. And it was a really funny segment.
You showed that on.
I think I did one time.
You showed it on the show once. Like
I think I did. And it was really funny at the time. Now, not so much, but it was lots of giggles. Anyways.
All right. Okay.
It's all giggles, shits and giggles until someone shits while giggling.
Right.
Anyways, thank you, Miku, for bringing that.
You
back.
had to be there on the Cosby recliner.
Yes, for sure.
Or on the live stream.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right, let's move on. Let's go to some video games, shall we? Hey, Razor. Do you like Zelda Ocarina of Time?
Do I? I do.
Does he?
Oh, good.
Sorry, I felt I'd leave you in suspense there for a moment on whether or not I enjoyed like the greatest game ever made. Yeah, sure.
Do you actually think it's the greatest game ever made?
I think it's legit one of the best games ever made. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you play the 3DS remake?
Never got the chance to. No. I played just about every other port though. Okay.
Well, there was we're now actually, I think today is 25 years ago in Europe the game was released. Today's was the birthday of it. Birthday? Release day? I don't know, whatever. 25 years ago, Zelda was released in Europe. And there was an interview with the producer of the Zelda series. He was asked about a remake of of Ocarina of Time, like a full-on remake of it. And in that, he says Zelda series producer refuses to comment on potential Ocarina of Time remake. But it's one of those like refusing to comment, yet still kind of commenting on it. In a recent interview with Game Informer, when asked about a potential remake of Ocarina of Time, I can never say his name. The series producer, who was also co-director on the 1998 title, simply laughed. No comment. Obviously, it isn't confirmation by any means, but as we've seen so often, refusal to comment is often enough to comment to spark speculation in itself. So, with that said, Razor, would you be open to seeing a 25-year-old game be remade in a, I don't know, a modern, what if they were just to do a modern take with modern graphics and change nothing? Would you like that?
Yes. Would I be open to it? My ass cheeks would be open to it. What are you even talking about? Yes. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Power injected into my veins.
Would you like to see anything done to the game, or would you like a one-for-one remake just with better graphics?
I would actually like a few little touching up, maybe make the gameplay a little more fluid. Not even a heavy kind of facelift, like maybe just make it play a little more like, say, Twilight Princess with the fluidity of gameplay in that, or something like that, right? Like those kind of adjustments, little adjustments, quality of life, basically.
It's I saw there's a great channel called Hard for Games, and they take a look at all these great I don't know, leaks and demos of games and fan-made conversions of games. And there was a recent remake of Ocarina of Time, or I guess a fan-made thing, and they had some good like quality of life things, like they sped Link up a little bit, right? So when you're running through the field, it doesn't take as long. You're not like, rolling a million times, right? But I think they made some
letting you ride Epona in more areas, things like that, right? Like, because she was restricted to certain areas and whatever. Right? You could do things like that, adjustments like that for quality of life. Look at any of the other, like the modern Resident Evil remakes. They change things for quality of life and update them.
Right. And it's funny. Okay, so you said what'd you say? What'd you say the horse's name is?
Epona.
Is it Epona? I don't know.
I honestly, well, if it's the Japanese, if it's originally a Japanese name, then it would be Epona. Yeah,
Epona. See, I don't know.
Yeah. Why are you
the
trying
horse.
to make everything sound Italian, Craig?
Epona. Is that good? Is that good for you, Blabs?
No, it was not good. No.
I'll do it. Epona. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I got.
I love when I can do that. It makes me feel so much better about myself. All right, I'm back now. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Sorry, if you want to mute an Italian gentleman, you'll have to tie his hands behind his back. Sorry.
How do you mute an Italian woman?
You give her a sandwich.
Or something else. Coming from a Guamanian, that's great. Well, anyways, I think that'd be interesting to see.
Racer just got my joke.
Did you just call her a Pomeranian? What the fuck?
Guamanian.
I'm in a dog.
I know. I'm like, what?
Arf.
Arf. But I'll tell you what. I think this is something that would fly off the shelves. And
oh yeah,
when you deal with a game that is so highly regarded as Ocarina of Time, you're going to deal with a lot of messy things. Obviously, nostalgia is the messiest because people haven't played the game in 20 years, 25 years, and they they want to go back to when they were 15, 16, 12, when they first played the game. And they don't remember the kind of the struggles that came with it. They just remember all the good times. It's just like, Instagram. It's a filter, right? But I will say this. I went back and played the game the first, I don't know, probably 2 hours of the game in the last year. And I thought it was fine. I thought it was a fine Zelda game. I didn't think it was like the best game in the world. I think that the newer Zelda games have vastly passed it. And I remember doing a remake when they remade the 3DS version. I did the review of it for Screw Attack back in the day, and in doing so, my thought was, this is awesome. Like, I told people that they should pass on the game. And the reason why was because it was on the 3DS. I was like, if you're going to go back and you're going to remake it and give it graphics and a graphical upgrade, don't make it a handheld game, right? Put it on the new console, which was, I guess, was the Switch at the time, or the Wii U.
Yeah, but they were doing that with a lot of games on the 3DS. They did
Yeah.
it with Star Fox and whatever. Like, they did it with a lot of games. It was kind of the 3D remake machine for a while there, remember? Didn't they do Super Mario 64 and they added other characters, like playable characters and shit?
Right. And that's, but I remember people like hating me for that. They're like, fuck you for having a
oh, I bet, dude. That sounds
so
retarded
mad.
just hearing it back.
But
remake Majora's Mask. I would play that. That's my favorite one.
Really? Majora's Mask, huh?
Oh, yes.
You're the hipster Zelda fan.
No, I got it it came with my Nintendo 64, I think, that Christmas. So I was all about it. That game's fantastic.
All right, let's get some more Zelda news for you, Razor, as I now found the key to your video game heart through Zelda, which is great. Okay. The Zelda producer is back at it again, and he was talking about
say his name.
I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't know how to say it.
On phonics worked for me.
Is it?
Okay. I'll give you a hint.
How do you say this? That right there.
Every vowel is pronounced the same way in Japanese. Okay, so there's no funky way to pronounce it. They're all pronounced the same way. So A is A, I is E, U is U, E is E, and O is O.
Yeah, so, can you say that for me?
Eiji Aonuma.
Aonuma. There you go. Mr. Aonuma.
Did you just call him Numa Numa?
Numa. There you go. Uanuma came in. Aonuma. Zelda producer. Aonuma-san. See, I put the son at the end of it. That's respect right there, Razor. I'm good with the Japanese language here. He said in an interview, he was talking about, he says, it's interesting when I hear people say they want a more linear Zelda, because I'm wondering, why do you want to go back to a type of game where you're more limited and more restricted in the types of things and ways you can play? But I do understand that desire we have for nostalgia. And so I can understand it from that aspect. This goes, obviously, the most recent take of, with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. They're very open world games. Razor, which do you prefer? The open world aspect of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, or the more linear aspect of, let's say, Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time?
Zelda's always been open to an extent. So I think that's a part of it. Like, I didn't think Breath of the Wild was as much of a departure as some people thought. It was more so that you could tackle things in different orders. That was more like, that was a little more revolutionary. That would have been cool to do in Ocarina of Time. It would be cool if they did a remake and you could mix things up in terms of going to one temple before another, having some side quests that weren't in the game before. Maybe they were originally thought of, but they didn't make it to the game, because I'm sure a lot of stuff was cut out of that game before they released it back in the day. That kind of stuff would be awesome. So for the record, I haven't played Breath of the Wild, but I'm about a quarter of the way into Tears of the Kingdom. And I love the open world aspect. The game does kind of feel like a tech demo sometimes, though, with the building robots out of, logs of shit and whatever. Like, you're just smashing stuff together and seeing what you can make out of it. Which is cool, but doesn't feel very Zelda to me, right? I kind of miss the Zelda feel of some of the previous games a little bit. I think that's more so what people are responding to. They're kind of remembering how they felt when they played Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword or whatever, and thinking, could we get back to kind of more of the slaying dragon stuff? Because we'd kind of dig that.
Right. And I think that's, I don't know, I personally enjoy both Zeldas, right? But I personally enjoy the 2D because I'm an old head, right? Compared to, the open world aspect of, but I'll tell you this about Tears of the Kingdom. My favorite thing about Tears of the Kingdom is after you go through the intro of the game, your first objective is also your last objective. It just says kill Ganon. and it's and from there it's like figure it out. And I thought that was like the coolest, most underrated thing about the game is like defeat Ganon or whatever it is. And I was like, hell yeah, let's effing go. I can do it however I want. So love it. But anyways, yeah, he doesn't know why people would be into it. And he followed up and says, but when I hear, let me pull this back up real quick. It says, but then when I hear the desire from fans for a bit more of a design Dungeons, and that led our way, and that led to our approach to Dungeons of Tears of the Kingdom. And so as we proceed, whenever we're making a game, we look back at our past and consider where we are now with the freedom that we give to the player in these games, which actually takes us to the next little snippet here. I don't have the story pulled up, but he also said in that interview that the next Zelda game will be a standalone Zelda game that will not be a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. So it's going to be an entirely new adventure because they feel like they've done as much as they could possibly do with this Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
So.
I was surprised that it got a direct sequel to begin. That isn't a common thing with Zelda at all. So I dig that personally. I think they should go to more of a standalone.
I thought it's interesting to hear him use the terms like this Legend of Zelda. It's almost like they treat every single game like it's totally different. It's its own little world.
Yeah, it's kind of like Final Fantasy that way. It's kind of like, or Breath of Fire, or a lot of, those RPGs where every game, you don't really know exactly what time period it is. It's all new characters. It's whatever. Unless, of course, it's Final Fantasy VII. Then we make like 70,000 different flavors of the fucking thing. But yeah, they generally reset between entries.
All right, let's move on to our next little thing. This is from I don't know who Roger Clark is, but
that's Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption, isn't it?
You are right. It actually says that in his Twitter bio right here. As I look over here, I would love your take on this statement, Razor. And Blabs, I'll tell you, I'll let you read this off because I don't read real good.
Yeah, I just want to let you know the poll ended for if you're a boomer before we continue. 866 votes. 83% said yes. So congrats.
That's a lot of votes.
A lot of freaking votes, man.
How many people voted?
866 votes.
We got 866 assholes in our chat. Let's go.
There are 866 glorious assholes. Anyway.
Democracy was a glorious mistake.
All right, Roger Clark says, the gaming industry has an odd complex at the moment. They're disregarding their own in place of a film industry that doesn't really care about them. They're like the more successful little brother still seeking validation from the big brother who was cool in high school.
I thought this was a really interesting thing, is that
yeah,
I feel like he nails it really well. The idea that there's a victim mentality in the gaming industry. And even though games far outpace every single form of media in sales, just destroy movies, destroy everything. And they're still like, please look at us, please aspire to be us, please let us be with you, movies. It's crazy to think. Your thoughts on this, Razor?
Yeah, no, it kind of echoes thoughts that one of the designers on Thief, who actually works in Hollywood now, strangely enough. He used to work at Looking Glass Studios. He worked on the Thief games, did the cutscenes. He's an artist. He painted those like moving painting cutscenes that the Thief series had. He did those, and he was a writer on it, voice actor, guy by the name of Dan Thrawn. He made this point in an interview about that series a while ago, where he was like, I've worked in Hollywood now, and it's bizarre looking back on my time in video games, because it's like video games have a confidence problem, right? Because they're dwarfing the sales of Hollywood movies and have been for a number of years. And yet they feel like the little brother. They feel like, for example, let's start a Category 5 shitstorm in the chat right now. Are video games art? Right?
Poll the chat, Blabs.
Right? Of course, the problem with that question is it sort of implies that video games need to be judged by the same metric that movies and paintings and literature do. They don't. They're their own thing. They don't need to be art. They're more successful than all that stuff. can they not just be themselves and be confident in what they are? Comic books had this problem a while ago. I remember a great Frank Miller quote, because Frank Miller made comic books more cinematic than maybe anybody in the history of the business, right? And the quote is genius. He said, "I got into comics to make comic books more like movies. I stay in comics to make them less so." Because they were like, comic books had the same problem. They didn't consider themselves a legitimate art form. Oh, it's just for kids, all of that kind of stuff. And they just didn't grow up along the same lines. And they kind of had to be forced forward. But at a certain point, he kind of looked back and said, you know what? Comics kind of were cooler than movies. Why were we trying to make them like movies? I feel the same way about video games. I don't care if video games are art or not. I don't consider them to be art, but it's kind of immaterial. They don't need to be art. They don't need to be art for you to enjoy them. They are their own thing. And what that thing is happens to be goddamn badass. So just enjoy them.
When you see pieces of art being sold for, millions of dollars, right? You see whatever, done by actual artists, by the way, not a Biden, but an actual artist sold for $8 million, whatever. You also see these games being sold for billions. Like GTA is going to sell $2 billion worth of games, right? And to further your point, Razor, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares whether it's art or not? Yeah. Do you enjoy it? Sure, of course. What is art? Art means it's subjected to everybody. Some people say this podcast is art. Okay, whatever. Like
it is. There we go. Let's.
You're right. If I get everyone to snap your fingers in the chat, please, that'd be great. But
Blaz is going to come in with the bongo drum.
That's right. You're going to go Howard Stern. Kill the white man. But art is subjective, and it doesn't really matter what art is to one person versus the other. And really what it comes down to is the only reason why art is classified as that in a modern perspective is so people can buy it, go in and buy that art and own it. And guess what? You can go and buy these video games, and it's a great thing.
And they're outselling all those things.
Yes, they are.
It's ridiculous. We were just who made this tweet? Roger Clark. He started in Red Dead Redemption 2. I haven't even checked what the sales are now. The last time I checked, it was months ago, and it was like 40 million units sold of that game. Okay.
Right.
That's a lot more than there were movie tickets for a lot of movies that have come out in the last several years.
Oh my God. Yeah. But going back to this quote, it's such a strong statement, and it's so simple. But just the idea that games, they're like the more successful little brother still seeking validation from the big brother who was cool in high school. Like, movies have peaked. Games are the way forward. So congratulations, Roger. While things on your bio make me question your sanity, that statement does not.
Well, he'd like to get voice acting work in the gaming industry in California. So
there's the reality. All right. Let's move on to another piece of art from Netflix that was just dropped. There's a movie called Leave the World Behind that was just released on Netflix. Razor, have you heard about this movie at all?
No.
Okay.
I canceled Netflix a long time ago, by the way.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. I have not. I'm still the sucker, still paying for it on a week-to-week basis. Well, this movie stars Julia Roberts. And it has a couple other noticeable people that you'd recognize, may not know their faces, but the big tagline behind this was that it was produced by our former president Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. And
well, they have is it minority or majority ownership in Netflix? No pun intended on the minority ownership thing, by the way.
Is that really? They have ownership in Netflix?
Yeah. That's why the Obama Netflix thing. They have a stake in Netflix.
Okay. Well, the film is produced by Barack and Michelle Obama's company, production company, Higher Ground Productions, and as put together by this tweet over here. I just want to read this off. It says, He would read scripts and give notes, everything from the characters to the disaster elements to the themes. Same thing with the cuts. So obviously very, very big on the production side of things, right? From sounds like from top to bottom. Well, there's this really interesting scene here, which, given everything we talked about today with Elon Musk and Twitter and kind of the machine attached to it, the whole story here is this one scene in which you see in the trailer, a bunch of self-driving Teslas go haywire and start crashing into each other. It recalls quite a few crashing cars that day. I'm not going to pretend that we didn't extend it with some CGI, but I got to say there were a lot of real Teslas out there that got to be destroyed. So what's interesting is that in this scene, as you go through and you look at it, I'm going to go and mute it. All these Teslas are lined up here, and they were all self-driving here. And she goes up, and when Blabs was talking about this, I was like, so a bunch of electric cars. It's like some sort of statement on electric cars. No, it's a statement directly on Tesla, which is amazing. Which obviously is the biggest market share leader in this. But it talks about the self-driving here, and then you see them get in their gas-powered car, I guess, which is I think the bigger thing is that it's not a Tesla, right?
Yeah,
it's not a Tesla.
Hybrid or something.
Get in the car.
Not a Tuma.
So they get going in their car that is definitely not a Tesla.
Yeah,
and they get going, and sure enough, the big chase happens, and these Teslas are just running into each other because they have no idea. Like, Teslas can't stop. They can't stop when they're in self-driving, which is just amazing to see. So is this a statement on Tesla, or is this a shot at Elon Musk?
Probably.
There's more, actually.
I don't think. I bet it was probably already in the script, but they decided to make it a Tesla just to shit on Elon Musk. I'm 10-1. That's what happened.
Right.
If you watch the very last few seconds of that video, you'll see that it's a complete lineup that goes on for like ages. And it's like a dystopian society. It's like miles upon miles upon miles long. And also, if you notice, the husband was driving originally, and then when she's chasing away from the Teslas, it's her driving.
So here's all your Teslas.
Dystopian society.
So congratulations. You just
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know it's based on a book. The show is supposedly based on a book, or the movie, whatever, is based on a book. So I don't know if that was in the book or not, or if they put that in themselves.
D-Sub says Hollywood loves electric cars, though. Yes, but they don't love Elon Musk.
Yep.
There it is right there. And I think that's the biggest thing. So, but it continues. This movie has more kind of like interesting things attached to it. There is a scene. Well, you know what? Let's just play this out. Let's just see what you think of this here, Razor. As I don't want to tell you at all what's going on here.
All right.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially.
Who speaks like that? Before they even got to the white people part, I was like, who speaks like this? Who? The fuck? Trust should not be doled out. Have you ever uttered that phrase in your fucking life?
Listen, the EVs were not Teslas were not chasing me down during the situation, like knocking on my doors looking to run over me. So I don't know how I'd speak in that situation in my house. So, but yes, here it is right here.
To anyone, especially white people. Even Mom would agree with me on that.
Mom. My mama told me.
Produced by a guy who wouldn't have been president if not for the majority white population that voted for him.
Could you imagine? I'm just, once again, I'd like to flip this around, right? Let's just say, I'm not even going to go to Trump, right? Let's just say George Bush or Bill Clinton was the executive producer on a film. And in that film, it said, trust is very hard to hand out, especially to black people. Could you imagine what would happen in that situation? How the earth would burn It's insane to think that like that's okay. I mean, wow. Like they're clearly extremely racist people. Extremely racist people in this movie. It's crazy. Wow.
Wow.
So anyways,
I have a feeling Michelle had slightly more input than Barack. I don't know about that one.
Michael.
it's just shocking.
Big Mike.
It's just
Big
shocking
Mike.
to see.
Miach.
Shocking to see. Anyways, so there you go. My God. Okay. I didn't want to get to this story, but Blabs, you said we need to talk about this today.
Oh,
And-
no.
And Razor, you seem like you're really, really on board with this story. So,
What?
ladies and gentlemen,
Titties. No!
Fuck titties. Yes, there you go. Razor, this was a special request from you at the start of the show.
No, it wasn't.
Right?
You want titties? Titties.
You called out this what
I was
believe you
talking
called her-
about the birds.
There are
The
birds called
birds.
titties.
Called
Oh,
tits.
okay.
So this person here made waves over the last couple days. This was a donation goal on their stream.
Hey, and shame about the face news.
She looks like a horse.
But when it
Yay!
You know what I mean? Hi, thank you for
All right.
3.
Oh, dear.
and that is what they would do is they'd go like this and they'd do the jiggle physics there. Well, that girl, horse.
Can we call her horse face?
No, we're
Why
gonna call her Asian Bunny X because that'd be disrespectful. Asian Bunny X has now been banned off of Twitch.
That's not
Is
the
this-
same girl.
It's not?
This is the first girl who did it. That was the one we showed you, I think, last week. If you scroll down, I believe there's her video on that tweet. Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
That's her. She did it
Okay.
first.
Oh.
Oh, I thought this
See,
was.
I bring you all
This
the
is
boobs.
friends.
We're all ethnic here. Asian, white, boobs.
Okay, so she got banned. So how long
Yes.
before? I think it'd be very odd if she was called Asian Bunny X. This one at least.
Yeah, I
That's
was
really
gonna
confusing.
say, like,
what
wait,
do you
we got
mean
a probe.
Asian? Are you blind?
Yeah.
That's clearly like a fake ginger.
We've got
Well-
With fake
racial appropriation in addition to gender and species appropriation there. Equine appropriation.
So this chick basically was like very teetering on terms of service for Twitch because she was doing all that, and I guess Twitch was like, well, we're getting a lot of backlash. We can't have to ban her now.
But what really? What are they banning about? Like, what's the ban for?
I'm
She didn't show any
assuming for
nips?
her behavior on Twitch with the boobs and stuff.
Yeah. But like, you don't see it, right?
Maybe
You don't-
maybe we did see it for like not in that clip, but maybe it was accidentally revealed.
Maybe, but like in that instance, you don't see them. You just hear this. slap.
the plane landed. Yay!
You just hear it. And Blabs, you also wanted to talk about this as well. Apparently,
I
Twitch
just see those things that like 1980s businessmen used to have on their desks with the 2 steel balls. Just going.
Yeah.
it's more or less exactly what's happening right there.
I'm Barbara Walters, and this is Turning Point. Anyway.
Oh my God, Turning Point. Well, I'll leave that there. Labs, you wanted to talk about this as well?
Well, yeah, so I believe starting at the end of the month, starting February, Korea will be shutting down Twitch. So all those people who have their jobs and everything are just gone like that in a second. That's pretty rough. You gotta think about it. You're doing your whole career right on Twitch. You're exclusively on Twitch, which I would never recommend you do. And now it's gone, and you have to start all over again somewhere else if you don't have another platform. So go to Kick, and Kick was all like, Korean streamers have a home on Kick, so it's basically 1 for Kick, 0 for Twitch.
Right. So Twitch is just saying it's too expensive to stream over in Korea,
Mhm.
which that doesn't. I don't know how
I don't
that
get
works.
that. Yeah, I don't understand.
What's the reason they don't do enough business in Korea, or was there some kind of ban?
I think it's probably just financial reasons. Maybe probably not enough streamers in Korea.
Yeah, it says this morning I shared with our community in Korea that we made the difficult decision to shut down the Twitch business in Korea. We understand this is extremely disappointing news, and we want to explain why we made this decision and how we are planning to support it. But yeah, it's pretty much just money. That's what it comes down to. It just costs too much to stream over there. So, so there you go. I don't.
Kind of rough. Kind of rough.
No, don't go to Kick.
It's a country where cat videos are actually cooking videos, so I don't know about that.
Go to Rumble. Go to Rumble. Go over there. It's a much better place to go. Yes, the rev split isn't nearly as high, but still, go over there.
Or go to both and don't stream exclusively, so shit doesn't happen to you.
Right. All right, we got a lot of super chats we got to hit here today, guys. Thank you very much for your support, your questions. These go back to the beginning of the show, so thanks for your patience in allowing us to get to these. Asher says,
"Here's some Korean cuisine, actually, right here."
Oh my god!
Let's see that. Let's see that Korean cuisine. Look at that puppy dog.
Yeah, he's right there. All right, sorry.
No, I love it. That's good stuff. Razor, have you watched the 1010 movie? If so, what'd you think of it? If not, YouTube has it available for free. Thanks, Asher.
I haven't seen it. I've heard good things actually from people, so I should watch it.
John says, "Hey Razor, what do you think of Kirby and the Forgotten Lands? Didn't see the whole stream, but that DDD boss fight blew me away."
I love that game. It's fantastic. I intend to play more of it.
Gold says, "Hey Razor, hey Razor, hey Razor. Fortnite has a solid snake skin, so I know you have to play it now."
Oh yeah,
that's Razor going. Fuck
Was it just a cardboard box?
No, it actually does look like Solid Snake, but it's pretty good. Emperor Creatine says, "It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not. But we should run like it's God. But should we run like it's Godzilla? Like it is Godzilla?" Thank you, Emperor Creatine. He came in. Thank you very much, Freddie. Heath says, "Love the show, y'all. Keep fighting the good fight." And Lawahi, if you're listening, grocer up them units, boy.
What?
I don't know. I bet Lawihi really knows what's going on right there. Thank you.
I sure don't.
Grocer up. Sorry. Hardcore Bunny says, "Morning side scroll is true. Check Beast and the Inquisitor. Beast is early access, and Inquisitor is coming 2024. They are Gothic RPG games." Thanks, Hardcore Bunny.
They're RPG games that wear black nail polish.
Anti-Hero came back, says, "The E is German. In German, it's pronounced more like a destiny, for example. So you sometimes get it almost right, but mostly say it too long and more like a German A." Yeah, it's speaking of Uwe Boll, which once again, tomorrow, make sure you guys are here for that. Me and Uwe Boll going one-on-one tomorrow. Should be great.
Uwu Bowl. Let's do it.
In a game, it wouldn't it be great if all of our interviews were done on a basketball court, and that's how it was all one-on-one with Uwe Boll.
This is going to be the most kawaii interview yet.
It's awesome. Lance says, "I'm going to say it one time. Gay frogs." Texas Red came in at the 5, says, "I shat on commies and people that slander Depp and Rittenhouse and still haven't been unbanned. Elon is still a grifter until he unbans me." Texas Red, good luck in that. Sir Ubizan says, "Razor, prayers to you and your comic." What is IYHO? In your opinion, was synth music better in Terminator or RoboCop in the early and late 80s? Stay blessed and Godspeed, dude.
I'm not a big Terminator fan, but probably Terminator. The soundtrack to Terminator 1, bro. That's good shit.
Bro. Alan just says, "Hacksaw Jim Duggan." Talking about your Mika says, "Craig knows about that Jared mushroom we saw." Actually, no, I don't, and I have no interest in that. Thank you. Hardcore Bunny says, "I like Joe Dirt too." Not two. I meant I also like it. Yes, Hardcore Bunny, and I appreciate it. Joe Dirt was a great underrated comedy. Captain Furlow says, "It was frozen unplane waste." I got you, Craig. See, there you go, Captain Furlow.
Airplane waste. What do you see unplane from?
What did I say? Did I say unplane?
Yeah.
In my mind, I said airplane.
Uh-huh.
It was frozen airplane waste. I got you, Greg. Thank you, Captain Furlow. That's right. It got the peanut in it. Captain knows.
Are you okay?
It's from the movie.
All right.
Got the peanut in it. That's a line from the movie, doesn't it? Okay. Racer, we got to get you to watch Joe Dirt. I'm sure you love it. By love it, I mean you tolerate it.
Well, I know Dennis Miller's in it. I'm a big Dennis Miller.
Yes, he plays a very, very big part of it.
Well, you know, I went to the same junior high as David Spade.
No.
David Spade? Really?
He's from here. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Does he ever come back and be like, hey, junior high kids?
I think he still lives out here. Yeah, I think he does.
Let's get David Spade on the show. That'd be great.
Right?
Yeah.
Scarden says, I still remember your old review of 3D Ocarina of Time on old Screw Attack. Yeah, I'm sure you were probably the one writing hate comments. Fuck you, you idiot. Miku says, shout out to Fleckus Talk, best new pod of all time. All right, sounds good. And Spoonerdura came in and says, is Razorfist both being based? Is Razorfist both being a based Majora's Mask enjoyer and cringe not knowing it was remade years ago? Or
was that on 3DS? Or I know they ported it to GameCube, but did they actually remade it on 3DS? Anyway, at any rate, I didn't play it.
I am. Oh, lampshade.
Did you say I am?
Yeah, I first read that as I am.
I am shade.
Let's read it off.
Wow. First of all, I keep seeing more Twitch streamers with the whole boob thing going on. It's all over the Side Scrollers newsfeed now. Great. Anyway, lampshade for $5 because Craig's remedial. For anyone who's seen it, thoughts on Godzilla -1. Legit one of the better films of 2023. Also, Twilight Princess was one of my favorites.
Thanks, I am shade.
You okay over there?
Yeah.
Do you need life alert?
You keep going. Go,
Okay.
Blast. Keep reading them off.
Dan Evil Robot for Canadian $10. Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite Zelda games. The closest remake is on the 3DS. I've beaten both of them, and I've seen fan-made remakes. But yeah, I would like to see a true remake from Nintendo.
Thank you, Dan.
Get your mouse out of there. I'm working. Why can't I click on stuff now? It's all grayed out. Ah, shit. There you go. Olympus Golem of Light for $10. On the 7th day of Christmas, Razor gave to us 7 fruity frogs.
No.
6
If you're gonna read it like it's the it's the song.
On the 7th day of Christmas, Razor gave to us 7 fruity frogs, 6 misread super chats, 5 FU I was right, 4 boot-inch heels, 3 Battletech mechs, 2 yellow flags, and a hero cape in a pear tree.
Very nice. Thank you, Olympus Golem Light. Appreciate that.
Golf clap.
Noodle says, go ahead, Blabs.
Get out of here. Noodles for $4.99. Bring Ingots back to Goldlust. Him and Booker T are great tag ether, the tag team. Great together, the tag team. Jesus Christ.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Oh, man, what a great intro. Hey, if you were to have a wrestling intro theme, Razor, what would it be?
Oh, man. I don't know.
I thought about this quite extensively.
Have you?
Yeah. Yes, I have. Because
Fat
there will be a
Bottom
day
Girl
one time.
by Queen.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
See, it
My
needs to have a
queen.
build to it. Then they need to be able to step out.
Yeah, there you go.
It's good. I thought about that. Maybe one day I'll unveil it. But I think I'd go with like High Stepper, that 90s song. Na 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 na. And he goes, "Here comes the hot stepper," whatever it is. You know, whatever that song is. It's great. Love it. Come out and be all
Yes. There you go.
walking down the aisle.
Oh my
Here he
God!
I feel
Would you do?
Craig is
Would you
from
do the
that
Vincent
movie.
Mann walk?
Big shoulders everywhere. That's right. Arms just moving all over the place. It's great.
Craig is from that movie. How do you do, fellow high schoolers?
And then you'd tear both your quads in the ring.
Yeah, right. Read it off, Blabs.
Oh no, Olympus Golem of Life for $20. Forgot a day. On the 8th day of Christmas, Razor gave to us 8 fruity frogs, 7 misread super chats, 6 German frogs, 5 FU I was right, 4-inch boot heels, 3 Battletech mechs, 2 yellow flags, and a hero cape in a pear tree.
He's just gonna keep doing this to torment you. I hope you understand this.
Ah!
Rob.
Olympus, you're missing a 9th day, actually. Thank you very much. Noodle
How many
says-
bottles of beer on the wall?
99 bottles of beer on the wall. Take one down, pass it around. I could go on. Anyway, noodles for $1.99. Meant to say bringing it back to gold dust.
Ooh, look at Racer go. Oh man, the roads, man, they're great.
Emperor Creatine for $5. We got lots of assholes in this chat. Over there's my cousin, Gunner's mate for fist clasp, Philip Asshole. Okay.
Thank you, Emperor Creatine.
Mercenary for $2. Video games equals fun. Fun superior to art. VG's better. Video games.
Thanks, Mercenary.
Humble Dirt Merchant for $5. I've always thought of games as being in the same category as toys, which is not a diss when looking at historical toy making.
I agree.
Dice Punk Studios for currency, I don't know, 5. So the N that appears before every show doesn't stand for Netflix. Mind blown. What up, my knittas? Gonna start sewing.
All right. So, Blabs, when you getting your hood pressed?
I actually already have, like the N-word pass and everything. I've been giving it
Do
to
you?
multiple people. So
Yeah, okay. Cool.
I'm allowed to
Good
say it.
know.
I'm allowed to say it.
Grand Wizard Blabs, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Terrorix for €5. Movies are one of the 7 arts and are composed of other arts. Video games can legitimately be called an art because they are cut from the same cloth.
Awesome.
Oh no, Scarton for 25. Sorry. Nothing screams art more than cutting all contents of game and sell each content as separate purchase and pray to God if it works as intended. Ha.
Anybody remember when Leonardo da Vinci cut pieces out of the Mona Lisa and sold them as DLC? Anyone?
Right.
True. William Silva. I want to read them as William Sonoma. Anyway, for $10. Hello there, everybody. Games, comics, and animation for the longest time have been considered kid stuff in a negative light by American mainstream for a long time, creating this confidence issue. True. True enough.
I agree with
Celluloid Dream for $1.99. No more Korean boobies. No, I'm sorry, but you can find all the other boobies on Kick and Twitch too because they're still there.
Listen, Razor gets to read this one off.
Razor no chicken baby on the Rushmore. Fucking bullshit.
I knew you'd love that one, man. That's great. Nailed that.
You are intelligent Jew, the Jin Min.
Oh, Jesus. Dicepunk Studios for that currency for 5 again. At Razor, what do you think of the artist Mobius? And have you ever reviewed any of the books he illustrated?
Yes, I have. I did a video on Bande Dessinée where I recommended one of his comics, and I did a top 10 favorite comics video once where I recommended one of his comics. So yeah, he's like my favorite comic artist.
Nerd.
Oh, I was like,
Listen, I can't read words. You can't read leet speak. All right.
For $10, I hate the concept of games as art. It just makes me think of games trying to movies again, huh? Why can't games be something new? Why do they have to be art? Art gets you falling buckets.
Why can't they be Art Vandalay?
That hurt.
Games are whatever they want you, whatever you want it to be.
Corey Blumberg for $5. I took Alex Jones' advice on January 6th, and I'm free today because of based Elon letting freedom ring.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate that. Congratulations on your freedom.
Dirt skin. Oh, dirt is king. For $5. I was trying to read it as one word. Twilight Princess is the bad live album of the Zelda franchise. Wind Waker and Skyward Sword did everything better, but the floating chicken legs and Midna.
What? Hey, Razor, what's your most underrated Zelda game?
Probably Majora's Mask. It's very underrated.
I think Skyward Sword is the most.
I never
underrated
played it,
Zelda game.
so I have no basis for comparison on Skyward Sword.
I'll tell you this. I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and that was the first time I've ever thought a video game character was beautiful. in that game, which is crazy. I was like, weird, bizarre. It was Zelda. I thought Zelda was beautiful in that game. It was
my god,
it was great. But the music, it was wonderful. It was so great. Yes,
I'm picturing you showing up with a controller in one hand and some posies in the other. Like, what the fuck? Titties.
There you go.
There we are.
Anyways, that's mostly creepy. No, listen, it's okay. Like, whatever. I'm not gonna try to fight it. Read it, Blabs.
Tyrannus for $5. Don't think it was aliens, but I saw something very similar in the sky at night. 2 lights quickly converging in the clouds in multiple places in town. Is that Craig's alt account?
No, they know. They know.
Mercenary for $2. Craig's reading incomprehension spreading 2 blabs.
See, he misspelled that just to get you.
Right, exactly.
A National Acrobat 5 for $5. Clegg, I was just thinking about Hot Stepper as perfect entrance music. I'm surprised nobody used it yet.
It's perfect, man. You come out, it gets everybody knows it immediately when they hear it. Oh,
Matthew for 5 Canadian blabs, and you're pitting how these women on Twitch get away with what they do. Play the clip. Titties! Because that's it. That's literally how they get away with it. Female privilege is real. Call me Gwyn for $4.99. Haven't been this excited for Uva since Low Tex got his ass beat.
Yeah, that's something we're definitely going to get into. Whereas he actually got in a fight. Do you remember this, Razor, when he fought one of his critics in a boxing match?
Oh yeah, I heard about it. But
yeah. I need to put that on my list of things to talk about. Oh my god, literally just beat the holy hell out of the guy. It was great. Low tax. All right.
Maiku Huntu Forex bought for $2. The mid-nussy got Craig acting up. What?
Mid-nussy?
What is that?
All right.
Okay. Dice Punk Studios for $2. One more for Blabs. It's Singapore Dogs. Ah, very cool. Hello from Singapore.
Let's go. Love our Singaporean viewers.
Corey the Ice Physics Mage, $2. How do the Japanese greet? What up, my Nihons?
My Nihons.
One-man army swamp party, ew, for $5. If y'all want to know a very underrated Nintendo franchise, check out Battalion Wars for the GameCube and its sequel to the Wii.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Nerd for $5. Have you heard the new term for SJWs NPCs? They're now cancel pigs.
No, I've not heard this before.
Yeah.
First time. Thank you for that, nerd.
Sir Yubi-san for $2. Should Sega do what Nintendo's doing with movies?
Didn't Sega have like the biggest video game movie a while back? Sonic was huge.
Sonic 1, 2, and 3 is coming. I don't think the franchises are big enough, to be honest with you, to scale to movies.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do, Vector Man? Like,
right. Bring out Crazy Taxi, and it's just people running over people. I don't know.
Right.
Mercenary for $2. No, blame autocorrect for fault that I'm actually trying.
Thanks, Mercenary.
I think in 2023 it would probably be like neurodivergent taxi or something.
Right. You can't say crazy.
All right.
Tzix for $4.99. On the third day of Christmas, Blab started her way through 3 super chats, 2 titties, and 1 more Boomer Craig.
And 1 Boomer Craig.
Yeah, you can do it. There you go.
There you go. Mercenary came back over on the Rumble side, says you're more correct than you know. We're speaking about the Elon Musk stuff. Says it's bigger than George Soros wanted to R. I can't even read this. Yeah, Mercenary. I'll let you know I saw that, but I can't read it because YouTube. Dude says Ocarina of Time on 3DS was a great remake. Majora's Mask 3DS remake was terrible as it broke movement with the masks. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. And he followed up with says I got bored with open world games because it feels like it turns things that used to be menus into filler. As well as having a bunch of filler content to pad the world out. Linear feels more focused. Thank you, dude. All right. And then we got Abdulio says you should look into Ship of Harkness. Harkonanian. I don't know. Are you familiar with that, Razor? Do you know what I'm talking about? Ship of the code name for the project of porting Ocarina of Time to PC. Not emulation, but reverse engineering the game to run on PC. It's one of the several projects which currently include Perfect Dark and Link to the Past. It's called Ship of Harkinian. Harkinian. So there you go. If you want to look at the reverse engineered Ocarina of Time. It says Zelda game, and followed up with Zelda games typically have one direct sequel, Zelda 1 to 2, Link to the Past to Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker to Phantom Hourglass. So Breath of the Wild having a direct sequel to Tears is not as uncommon as one might think. Thank you, Abdulio.
That's actually a good point.
Access, please ask Uwe Boll if he's ever heard of DSP. Act on, I will not.
Add it to the document if you.
We just talked about the boxing match. I think he's seen enough beating in his life.
Mercenary says, Sega does have a live-action Yakuza movie. Thank you, Mercenary.
Anyway.
I love it. Jimmy says, Craig's comment about Zelda reminds me about Micro's comment about Ariel and the Little Mermaid. How embarrassing. What did I say? You mean talk about my comment about Zelda like 10 years ago, 12 years ago about the 3DS? Oh my God, just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. And then Agamemnon Fireman came in and says, since it's become a big topic this past year, what do you guys think about 11,000 plus year old civilizations? Gobekli Tepe? One of the biggest mysteries. Are you familiar with this, Razor?
No.
Okay. I've seen the videos about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's interesting for sure. I don't know enough about. I mean, it's all theories. You know, it's all theories right now.
It was an ancient dinosaur civilization.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, we do have a dinosaur story today, which actually
do we?
Do you want to finish on a dinosaur story real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Would that make you feel good, Razor?
Sure.
No. He's like, yeah, sure. All right. This is actually pretty cool. Dinosaurs are dead, Razor. I'm sorry to break the news to you, except for a few that are underneath our waters. I know. But this was kind of neat. This is from BBC Blabs, which means...
Can I actually say it?
Yeah.
Big black cock-doodle-doo.
No, Blabs.
You said to say it, so I said it.
No, British Broadcasting Company.
Corporation,
BBC.
Actually.
Okay, whatever. It's not the...
You told me to say it, so I said it.
I was talking about the actual company.
Well, I said, could I say it? And you said yes.
It would be very weird, Blabs. Very weird for that sort of BBC to publish a story about a Tyrannosaurus Rex's last meal.
Maybe it's a really big T-Rex with a really big what.
Anyways, so here we go. We apparently we have a stomach of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's a 75 million year old T-Rex that was revealed by scientists, and it had two little baby dinosaurs that it had just recently eaten, which is pretty interesting to look at. You can see when it goes in, you can kind of see the breakdown of these the prey that it had. Which, I saw this and was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Razor, do you like dinosaurs? And have you ever seen anything like this before?
I do like dinosaurs. I was not aware of this, actually. This is pretty boss. This is not a Tyrannosaurus Rex, though. It's something else. Gorgosaurus? It sounds like the name of a death metal band, honestly.
Yes.
Well, the Gorgosaurus.
So it was a Tyrannosaur.
I think this dinosaur is actually the vocalist.
It was a Tyrannosaur, not a Rex, a Tyrannosaur.
Yeah.
That ate a
If you look closely, you can actually see the Tyrannosaur actually shit out the Jurassic World sequels. So,
I really want to play Evolution now.
Apparently, it ate two young Gorgosaurus, which is I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that this thing ate this thing. Then all of a sudden, it died, and here you go. You got fossils of these of this prey in there. I think it's pretty neat. I don't think I've ever really seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
Apparently, it weighed 330 kilograms when it died, about a tenth of a fully grown out adult. I don't know. I love dinosaurs. I love the idea of dinosaurs. I think they're super fun. And
dragons, you mean?
It's the toes picking through the rib cages. Ugh.
Ew, gross. Anyways, fun story to finish up. Everyone loves dinosaurs, and if you don't, you're no longer a friend of mine. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I said it.
This or them.
Get out. Yes, that's right. Very this or them. You better like dinosaurs or get the hell out of my life. Emperor Creatine says, I don't know about you guys, but Atlantis was sunk by transdimensional elves and goblin guides after the Orange King charged into the goblin's nest looking for gay frogs. Or maybe it was dinosaurs.
Okay.
Thanks,
Give
Emperor
us a
Creatine.
Jurassic Park Mr. DNA. Dinosaurs.
It's in your blood.
It's in your... Bingo. Dino DNA.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. It's in your blood. We used to have that's a deep cut for those who followed me for a long time. We use that for a long time. Nerd says,
Or if you're a Twitch thought, it's on your chin. Anyway, so,
it's on your chest.
all over your face, neck, and chest.
Wow.
I just love the idea of this little guy of DNA saying that.
Yes.
Can we get like an AI to do that? We'll just change his
Right?
voice to match it.
I'm just saying, how did Dr. Wong get all that dino DNA? I'm just anyway.
He won't.
We got to get out of here. We're going way too long. Nerd says, what was the last truly indie game you guys played? Something like Pseudo Regalia or Sonic Chaos 16-bit. By the way, no one ever reads my name correctly. It's pronounced Nexzard. See Guilty Gear. Oh,
And you're like, oh, it's pronounced nerd.
it's Nerd. Nexzard. There you go. Nexzard. I'm sorry. Last truly indie game I played was the ninja game. I talked about it a couple days ago. The Messenger. It was really, really great. Love that one. And Miku came back with Denver, the last dinosaur. He's our friend. Anybody? No? Razor, do you know that one?
No.
Okay, I'm just over here singing. That's good. Those who
All
know,
right.
know. It was good. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for your support today. All the fun you guys popping in and all the chats and the interaction we had. It was great. We are 44 likes away from 1,000 for the stream. So do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button on your way out. We greatly appreciate that. Always a great show on Mondays. Don't forget, tomorrow we're back with Uwe Boll, a one-on-one interview with quite possibly the most notorious video game filmmaker in history. Should be outstanding, starting promptly at 11 a.m. So we look forward to seeing you guys then. What is that?
Central.
I said 11 a.m. Central.
No, you just said 11 a.m.
Oh, 11 a.m. Central time. So you guys hop on in. Look forward to seeing you guys then. I will be live over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. Razor, you had a bunch of videos going up last week.
Yes.
How'd it go?
It was freaking fantastic. We just
Awesome.
freaking drilled right through them.
Love that.
And I got 5 more or so lined up. I don't know if I'll be doing them daily like I did last week, but yeah, definitely. I got a whole bunch more lined up.
Hell yeah. Love to see that. Do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. We are 775 subscribers away from 60,000. That's our goal by the end of the year. Help us reach that. We'd really appreciate that. Go follow Blabs over on Kick, where she does all the e-thoughts stuff and laughs
And
at girls.
YouTube. I'm
And
trying to get
YouTube as
myself
well.
monetized, so watch my shit. Thanks.
Love that. Love that. Watch my shit. All right, you guys have a great day. Razor, take us out, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, God fucking speed.
Now you say
Fatality.
fatality. There you go, Blabs. There you go. Let's
Cut
get
me
out.